All right, another Friday at 5 in lovely Stewart. You know, last time it was so hot you could cook outside with all the frying pans that you had. Today it's raining, it's cool, you can, enjoy it. And I'd like to welcome Mr. Ray Thomas. This is his 14th hour that he's been up today?
Pretty much. No,
Can't do it. But folks, the most exciting part is my favorite sidekick and partner in entertainment is back from her escapade in Los Angeles, Miss Marla Brodsky, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what is up? It's all very exciting. I always love when you introduce me because it's always like the best intro each time. I'm like, wow, what's he going to say about me this time?
Oh
That's
my
really good.
God,
Yeah.
listen to her voice. Ray, are you listening to
Oh,
this?
she's got that raspy
She's not doing
voice
it on
here.
purpose, but I
No,
want to
I-
sell that.
Listen, I would give money right now to get
If
my
you
real
could
voice
speak-
back.
yeah.
Like, I swear, I sound like a retired 80s phone sex operator
Oh my
who
God.
literally is now smoking 5 packs a day. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like I've just been like, let me take another drive.
Now,
let me
you
take another
just
drive.
ruined it for all the listeners who were maybe thinking that you were and they were going to call in.
I mean, listen, for the right price, I'm just saying I could, get a
So,
few things down.
a couple of weeks ago, Marla goes, I got to go to LA. Okay, sure. And so she goes there. What do? They start rioting, burning cars. She was still there. We bombed Iran.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
you can't go away anymore, okay? Seriously.
Oh, by the way, don't think that I didn't say that the last time, because if you remember correctly,
Yeah.
the time I went before, which
Yeah.
was just a couple months before that, LA burnt down.
Well, that's what I'm
Like
saying. Right, the
everything burnt
fires.
down. The fires.
So, Marla, you're not, John, don't take her anywhere for a while, okay? At least not LA. You can go anywhere else.
I mean, maybe we should go to like Fiji. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
somewhere
Bora
else.
Bora.
So
you know.
welcome back. I want to
Thank
hear
you.
all in the studio tonight. Some great friends. We are starting a new musical project. On drums, Bob Ross and Dennis Freireich on bass. We're going to talk about how we came to, get together. And this is something that we thought about doing a couple of years ago, and now it's going to happen. But listen, let's first focus on you. Was there anything
I
out
love
of the
it.
ordinary?
It's my
out of
favorite
the-
topic. I mean, how can we go wrong? It's my favorite topic. Let's focus on me. Okay.
Okay. So you get there, you and John are having a good time, but you weren't near downtown. You were like
No, we were not near downtown.
Yeah.
So we were about maybe like a half an hour from downtown.
Okay.
I mean,
but you saw it on
yeah.
the news.
Oh yeah, we saw on the news everything was
Right.
going on.
And people were calling you, right?
Oh yeah, people were calling, were telling everything's going on. I mean, but it was really just focused on downtown was like the worst part of it. But I will tell you that when they decided to have this like, sort of community march on Saturday, which was like literally everywhere. Like people were protesting everywhere,
Right.
but safely, whatever.
I love what that sheriff said in Florida. He said, hey, if you cross the line, you will be arrested. If you spit on us, you will be going to the hospital and then arrested. And then he said, and if you threaten us or blow up any cars, we'll tell your family where to find your remains. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I don't understand.
hey, I don't think we're going to have a problem in Florida. What do you think? So, and we didn't.
I still don't understand California. I just don't understand.
Kidding.
I don't understand why they don't want police help. I don't understand why they don't, aren't. My God, the fact that they treat the police as if they are like less than nothing.
Exactly.
It's so disgusting.
That is so wrong. You cannot hit an officer. You should go to jail at the very least. You have to respect the law.
And it's
you
amazing.
don't like it,
it's crazy.
Go somewhere. I would never hit a cop. You know why? Because I don't want to be locked up with a bunch of dudes wearing orange suits.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I saw orange.
I might be angry. But yes, sir. They're the law. You can't do that.
It makes no sense to me.
You can protest peacefully.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
I don't get it.
So, welcome back. You can't go to LA. I want to say that happening locally at Terra Firmata, we have a reggae weekend starting at 6:30 tonight. I think they said they were part one tab. I wrote this down wrong as I was talking to Eric. Then there's Drifting Roots, the second band, and Tal Smooth. So Terra Firmata is a real cool place. No other place like it. It's an outdoor venue. People are relaxed there. It's like you went back in the 60s, and there's live music that goes on. We're going to be there. Probably this lineup, but definitely My Santana's going back September 20th. So that's what's happening. And tonight, a great old friend, I don't want to say how old she is, because that, she doesn't want people to know, but she's playing in Conky Joe's, Alita and the Boys, great vocalist. She may call in. Maybe she'll talk about her show that she's doing. And the first one on the mic, Dennis, say hello to You were never convicted of all those crimes you were accused of, right?
That's what I heard.
So,
I try to avoid prosecution.
okay. And Bob, would you say hello to the listeners out there a little bit? You don't have headphones on, but
Oh,
you
I
can
have
hear
headphones
yourself.
on?
Put
Okay, here we
this
go.
on, yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Are you
Thanks,
good?
Denny.
So
Yeah.
we were going to do this project. What was it? About 3 years ago, 2.5?
2 years ago.
Okay. So we're friends with Ron Hart, and he said, hey, you guys should do something. And we started, but Bob's business took him. Tell him what you do, Bob. Hey, isn't that a saying? You have a cool little
Cool,
company
man.
that you traveled a lot with.
Shameless plug.
Absolutely.
So I hand make, for a long time now, I hand make wall clocks and coasters from original album covers and album labels, and I make them very functional and funky. And now we actually do wall art from the spines of the album. So we cut just like about an inch of the remaining part of the album cover into a little tiny piece, and we put them all together into 12, 24, or 36-inch wall hangs of the album spines. So,
I have a Santana clock that he got me from the first album. It looks awesome. Dennis, what did you do when you were working? Someone told me you were a chef. Is that true?
Yeah.
No way.
I was a chef for 42 years.
42 years.
Where?
42 years in Palm Beach County
Wait,
mostly.
speak closely. We want.
And
They won't recognize your
different
voice. They won't
places.
come after you.
The first 15 years I worked in Palm Beach, the town of Palm Beach. And after that, I moved around.
Wow.
I had
And,
no
What
idea.
was your? Did you have like a specialty? That's
Yeah,
great.
what did-
42
you know-
years is a long time to
Well,
need any
see,
career.
that-
Okay.
everybody always asks what's my specialty,
Yeah, well-
but I did everything, But
What
the
do
one thing I realized, every place I worked, they always had me to make the soups.
Oh, the soups.
That's
soups.
important.
So
Oh, we have a call. Oh, hold on a second. Let's get back to you, Chef. No, did she hang up? Ray
game
looks
of
a little
charades all of a
nervous there,
sudden.
right? All right. So while Ray's juggling
the phones.
the car shield calls,
Back to
go
the
ahead.
soups. Let's talk about the
So,
soups.
all those years, I was lucky enough to work days, a lot of restaurant business, mostly action is nighttime. So that enabled me to still play music at night.
Wow.
Because you're insane, right? You didn't get enough working early on day. You had to play late at night.
There were times I had to be at work at 7 and I was playing down in Deerfield Beach till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oof.
I get home at 2. I had to be up at
Oh, okay.
6.
Oh man.
I think we
That's
have.
why
We have a
I
lead
don't
on the
do it.
phone. Hold on a second. This is my friend I was talking about. Alita, are you there?
Yes, sir, Denny. I am here, dear.
Awesome. So listen, you're playing tonight. That's great. When do you start for anyone listening at Conky Joe's?
We start at Conky Joe's at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11.
Okay. Well, there you go. If you're out there, folks, Alita and the boys will be performing tonight at Conky Joe's. And what kind of stuff are you going to play tonight, Alita? Can you tell them? Or
Oh, all kinds of goodies. Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, Janis Joplin, but I turn around and do Patsy Cline and Lainey Wilson.
Wow.
yeah, she gets
She
into
hooks it up.
She-
She's good.
yeah.
I know. She is good.
She is.
She's really good.
I love when she just does the acoustic thing too. 'Cause
Yeah.
She one of my favorite songs is Stevie Nicks ones that she does.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and
Right?
she has a good voice for that.
You gonna do that one tonight, Alita?
Yes, probably, because people love Fleetwood Mac.
Exactly. You're
And
like,
can't be a female vocalist and not do Stevie Nicks.
do you sometimes go,
But I
hey,
wanna-
I'm not in the mood for Stevie Nicks tonight? Do you sometimes say that? to
Yeah,
yourself?
right. I don't play it unless it's asked for, but I will play it. Some musicians, they don't want to play, Brown Eyed Girl. I'm like, can you imagine if Van Morrison said that? Give me a break. We're here to please people.
To a
I'm
certain
in the
degree.
service business. Speaking of the service business, so if anybody shows up tonight, I do have coupons for 25% off of the cranial sacral therapy. That's my real job. I'm a massage therapist. Cranial sacral therapy.
Can you do that cranial stuff on Congress right now in the Senate? I think they could use it. Just free of charge. You know what I mean?
I thought we were in politics. We're not talking about
Oh,
Congress.
that's
I
right.
think
Yeah.
New York-
Well,
I think New York is a lost hope, dear.
New York. Oh, New York. Yes. I don't think I'm
That's where
going
I'm
back there
from.
for a while. Well, that's where I'm from. Well, listen,
Hornell?
you what? You're from New York originally.
Yeah, Hornell, New York. What part of New York you from?
I was born in Manhattan.
Oh.
She's
Yes.
like, oh.
I lived in Brooklyn,
Dun, dun, dun.
moved out to the island, and wind up in Florida. Imagine that, in New York and Florida. There's only a few of us. They
Yeah.
have us on 8-hour
I'm
shifts.
a
Wow.
country girl from New York. Country
Yeah, I
girl
thought-
from New York, up where the Amish people are. It's beautiful country.
All kidding aside, folks, she does a great job. Go out there. She's one of the fewer artists that really gets into it, whether there's 2 people in the audience or 2,000. And that's the sign of a great artist. So, Alita, thanks for calling in. I know we're going to share the stage again soon. All right?
Promise?
Yes, on the air, I promise. Yes.
Have a great show, Alita.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks. All right.
Alita
You guys
Davis,
have a
everyone.
wonderful weekend.
So yeah, we go back to, I'll never forget when I was out of my mind, there was a place called the Brassé Saloon. It's not called Sensations, one of those kind of places. But back then it was a North Carolina barbecue place. And I was the house band. And I played there 4 days out of the week for a long time. I couldn't believe that they wanted to hear me that many times. But we mixed it up and we did a lot of stuff like Zeppelin, Hendrix, Dance Santana, and it was kind of cool. I looked a lot better back then. We all did in 1990 and 91. Hey, Ray Thomas, you remember sporting that fro, dude, like you used to do?
Oh yeah, it was back like in 1980 something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those fro days. But your high
Dennis.
school picture, you had that Bay City Rollers look with
Right.
that hair.
That's back in 1978.
So
Yeah.
Dennis, when you were a chef, you did it in Palm Beach County.
Yep, at Palm Beach.
Any particular restaurants or?
Well, there was a place called Doherty's back in the day. I started in 74. I came here in 74. I had never been a chef before, but I needed a job.
I don't know if you want to say that, especially
That's
to the
kinda
customers.
funny.
We have a new chef. He is beautiful. He makes food perfect.
Yeah, after
Come,
42
Dennis, you make
years.
food for them now.
You gotta
Wow.
start somewhere. Come on now.
So I needed a job, and they had a state.
So you
part
were hired as a chef. You went from needing a job to you're
Well,
the chef.
I
Did
didn't
you
start
start?
as a
Yeah,
chef,
like
no.
please tell me you started like line cook
So,
something.
right? Yeah.
Busboy something.
Fried eggs.
I started
Open
as a
face
cook,
sandwiches.
You started the cook.
They needed a cook.
and
You-
so
Okay.
I went for an interview. I didn't get the job in a restaurant in Palm Beach, and then 2 weeks later they called me, and guy didn't work out, so they wanted me to come in for another interview. And in 74 we had baggy pants, we had platform shoes.
This guy's hilarious
So I
because
dressed up because I thought it was an interview. So I go in there, and the first thing they do, he throws an apron at me. He says, "You're starting right now," and I'm in the kitchen with
Dressed up.
platform shoes and bell bottoms. this
Oh my
big.
god, I love it.
Got through
Nice.
the first day. They said you did a great job, and I kind of liked it. There's a lot of young people working there. And,
Wow. All right, we're gonna go for our first commercial break, and we'll be back with Chef and the rest of our friends here. Okay.
He rocked the stage. Now he's rocking your weekend. It's Denny Artache. Fridays at 5. Your weekend starts now. And we'll be right back.
At Artachi Financial Group, we really go out of our way to make our clients feel different. Different because we're fiduciaries that work for you, not any insurance company or fee-based company that's out there. So if it's investing basics, income planning, long-term care, disability, Medicare, Social Security, how to take care of your family, succession planning for businesses, insurance products, we have it all, and we explain it to you simply. And we are fiduciaries. We do work for you, not any other company. So give us a call at the office at 561-537-5897. That's 561-537-5897. Advisory services are offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC, Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, and Artachi Financial Group are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC.
Spotlighting Martin County's events, energy, and entertainment. It's Fridays at 5 on 1450 WSTU. Call us at 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. And now, your host, Denny Artache.
We're back with the chef, who states that he's never done anything foul when the food was sent back to him. Is it true, laddie?
It's true.
Liar, liar, pants on
No,
fire.
I won't
I
tell
know
you.
how you chefs get when stuff
I won't
gets
tell
sent
you
back.
how my assistant.
Yeah.
What do they do? Wait, I want to hear. Is it like true? Do they really? If
I
you
don't-
send
you
You
something
don't
know
back-
wanna-
it's
you
true.
don't
They
wanna
might
know.
get insulted.
is it like? Do they?
And if their
spit
wife
on
was
it?
cheating on them, you're really in trouble
don't
when you
wanna
send
know.
it back.
Really? Oh, I'm so disgusted.
Nice.
All right.
You
Yuck.
don't want to know.
You don't want to know, especially in
Not
New
good.
York, right?
I know.
Tell
it's
'em.
in Florida.
Yeah, I know. But who do you think is
Oh,
in
I know.
Florida?
I
New
never-
Yorkers.
Oh my god, I don't ever want to send anything back. I
Do
would
not
rather just
send
eat it,
anything
just
back.
badly.
Oh boy. Okay. So the reason they're here, we're going back to we're forming this group again. Finally, I'm gonna enjoy, putting some shows together with the same bass player and the same drummer. You guys have been playing together actually for quite some time. Tell me, you were with Mario for how many years?
A lot of jobs, a lot of driving late
I
at
mean,
night,
you were
I'm
with
telling you
Mario,
that,
which
yeah.
was a blues band for like 8 years, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And so did you play before that together in another project?
No, that was the first time I
Speaking
met
to the
Bob.
mic.
That was the first time I met Bob.
No, okay.
When we put that band together, it was called the Natty Bows.
Eddie Bose. This is when Dennis still had a little bit of an afro at that point.
Oh, I got my mug shot from San Francisco. You would see that.
Yeah, I want to see that actually. Yeah,
it's good.
Did you have the goatee too?
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, I had a full bear.
Dennis plays in a really good Allman Brothers tribute band as well. In fact,
Oh, I like the
aren't you
Allman
playing
Brothers.
tomorrow somewhere?
Tomorrow night, the band's called the Marshall Brothers. We're playing at the Bamboo Room down at Lake Worth.
Okay.
Tomorrow we start at 7.
Mm.
Okay, so we're gonna play a song or two. We brought our instruments. I just wanted to keep talking about that. So Marla, when we had our Marla and Denny show,
Yeah.
we were talking about the 5 F's, right?
Yeah.
No, not what you're thinking, folks.
Right.
These are F words that are family friendly.
Yeah. Family friendly.
We always wanted to talk about food, fun, fashion, finance, and festivities. So
yes.
festivities we covered. You have Alita at Conky Joe's. You have the reggae splash going at Terra Firmata. How about food? Have you eaten anything interesting, in the last week or two that
Oh, well,
you and
listen,
John?
in the last week or two, I have been like sick as a dog in bed. I'm fine now. I don't sound it, but I am.
You
But
sound marvelous.
there was nothing delicious coming my way. I mean, no. But
I don't think you guys should go to LA. I mean, seriously, think about
you know
the
what? I
results
do.
here.
I love all my
People
friends.
rioted.
in LA.
You got sick.
I know. I love my friends in LA.
We
I love
bombed
going to visit,
Iran.
but
Come on.
Something bad always happens every time I
It's
go.
right. So,
I know. I can't. I
All
feel
right.
like I can't go anymore.
so you didn't eat any. I went
Oh,
to
what
one.
What did we eat?
You're in LA. There's a
I was
lot
in
of
LA.
good food there.
Oh, you know what?
And you like to eat, girl. I
I
don't
do.
care how
I'm a
sick
good-
you feel.
Yeah, no, I'm a good eater.
That's right.
I know. I am. A good eater.
So,
We did go. We had this like delicious. I don't know if you guys remember Curb Your Enthusiasm. Do you remember the show Curb Your Enthusiasm?
yes.
Okay, so it became famous on Curb Your Enthusiasm as Zane Cow Chicken, and it was a place that like Larry would go and anyway. It was
Gotcha.
so we went to Zankow Chicken, and it was so good. It was like perfectly cooked,
And
chicken.
that's how you got sick. You
Oh my
see?
God,
You
it
went
was
for
so
the
good.
place.
and it
yeah.
has like this garlic sauce, this like garlic paste. It's so good, and pita and hummus. It's so good. By the way, not to change the subject, but there was a lot of testosterone in this room today. I'm just saying. Like I just realized, like there's a lot.
I
Of,
usually am surrounded by females.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
It's usually very women heavy in here today, and I'm just saying, like.
Well, I had the
I-
band.
I'm liking the numbers better today. I'm just
I-
saying. It's
Well,
good.
John is always welcome because I remember you guys were first dating and
Yeah.
we had started doing our podcast
Yeah.
together. And so he's always welcome. And we're
Yes,
hey,
we should say John is sitting in the room today.
we got the memo. See, we're dressed like
You're
Jimmy
very
Buffett
resort.
people
You're
today.
Very resort.
And-
Yeah.
all
John,
right,
John
so
is watching from
As far,
afar.
okay, one of the F's is finance. You all know that I do manage money for a living. I'm a financial planner, but there's a new division of mine that I'm really excited about. I have a team of about 12 that's handling legacy and estates. Now, think about this. A lot of people think, hey, I just have a will, I'm be good. There's a lot of real stories that people died, they didn't have their affairs in order, and their beneficiaries had to wait 18 months probate and pay
Mm.
fees to get all their stuff straightened out. So as I saw the real need for that, real stories, we're focusing on that. If you'd like to know more, you can always call the office line at 561-537-5897, 561-537-5897. The market's been interesting. Back in March, people were ready to jump off a 10-story building.
Right.
And I said, calm your jets. It was the tariff thing. I mean, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago when Glenn was on the show from Independent Solutions. If you're going to be in a market, folks, you have to stomach the ebbs and flows, and you have to have time on your side. You can't invest for 6 months or 12 months. That's just not how it works. And if you can't at least have a 5-year horizon, and if you can't stomach the ebbs and flows, maybe you should consider investing in different ways. There's certainly money market accounts, there are fixed accounts, there are other alternatives, so that you don't have to worry that someone gets on the news and announces something and now your portfolio is doing a nosedive. What's interesting about markets, they're unusually different from where they were years ago. Whenever there was a correction, you'd have to wait typically a year or 2 or 3. Now you see stuff slap back. So now it's more like a policy thing that makes the markets jolt. Fundamentally, we're still doing okay. There's no recession out there. The market is still up. It's not tearing new records, but some people are going into the safety right now. Again, if you'd like to know more and see what your options are, my office is in Jupiter, 561-537-5897. Now, Marla, when you were gone, one of the things I put together was a cool list that Jimmy Buffett did. I think it was shortly before he died. And who here doesn't love Jimmy Buffett? Was he not a great?
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, so he came up with this list. He said some solid advice from an old man, and we went over live beneath your means. Right.
Yep.
We went over return everything you borrow, stop blaming other people, admit it when you make a mistake. The one that we cracked about give old clothes to charity.
Oh yeah.
You still have 200 shoes or something, right?
Listen, I still have a lot to give. I still have
Yeah,
a lot
you
to
still-
give.
all right.
But I give away a lot.
I
do give away.
got to focus on it. I got to clean my closet.
Yeah.
We also talk about do something nice and try not to get caught, right? Because a lot of people do stuff so that they can, hey, look what I did. And now let me beat that person up when you're not watching. Listen more and talk less. That was a tough one for even me to.
That's tough for me.
I try and pay attention with clients.
Yeah.
I really want
Only
to listen.
clients, though.
Well, no,
No, I'm
people
just kidding.
too.
I'm just kidding.
Touche. Actually, I listened a lot to somebody recently, as I explained to you and
That's
John before I went on the air.
Yeah.
And look what happens when you listen more.
Mhm.
Every day, take a 30-minute walk.
That I actually agree with that. I think that that's a really good.
You
if
got to
can,
do
if
something
You got to
every
do
day.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
It just clears your mind. It gets you in touch with your body, with
Yeah.
what's going on, and it's good to have
I
that.
totally agree.
Yeah, it's good to
One
have
of the
that.
things I tell people, if you don't know where to start in fitness, just walk somewhere for 15 minutes and then come back.
Yep.
At least you did something. You will feel better. You'll never go, man, that was terrible. I hate that I did that. The next one, he says, strive for excellence, not perfection. Man, so many people, what's that OCD stuff? I mean, hey, Ray, if you're in radio, are you striving for perfection?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
No, all the time. We do production. We want to make sure that everything sounds just right. The
Yeah.
music level's right, that we pronounce things right, that everything sounds right. So yeah, when we're on the air, we have a session when we get off the air.
Yeah.
And
you critique each other.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
But if you are constantly looking just to be perfect,
Perfect. Right.
you will constantly be disappointed.
Right.
Well,
Because there is really no such thing as perfection. You can always do better.
Yeah, but constructive criticism is good. You can
Oh,
always strive for
absolutely.
the next level. And that's what
Yeah.
we're trying to do.
All right,
Mhm.
but I think to Marla's point in mine is you
Mhm.
can't strive to be perfect. You strive for excellence and doing the best that you can.
Yes.
exactly.
And
Because-
always try to improve a little bit.
Yeah. So here's this one. Be on time and don't make excuses. I love when someone's
Oh, my
late and they
God.
make excuses, right? Oh
Please.
man, you know about traffic? Oh no, you guys made it.
I don't
It just so
understand.
happens
Like,
that-
I don't understand the whole chart. If I am not 5 to 15 minutes early for
You're late.
something, I'm late.
You're late.
I
Right.
don't understand
Right.
showing up on time. Like I have a meeting at 4. I show up at 4. I'm late. Like that's
Right.
late.
That's
That
an
is
old
not-
military term. If you're on time, you're late.
You're late.
That's
and
right.
I, especially LA, my God, I have friends in California. Forget about it. It's like I literally will tell them, "Oh, why don't we meet at 11:30 in the morning?" Fully knowing the reservation's not till 12. Because
Exactly.
then they'll show up at 12:15, and I will only have waited 45 minutes by myself.
Man, that ain't just a hat rack you got up there, Brodsky. Let me tell you. Because that's exactly right.
Thanks for
I know a
recognizing.
few friends like that you got to tell them exactly that, or
Yeah.
they will show up 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one that he wrote that was great. Don't argue, get organized. Wow, that could go a couple of different ways, huh?
Yeah.
You think he was talking about a relationship or a
That's-
business deal?
Listen, that could translate into everything. Everything.
I don't know what he meant by that. Okay, here's a good one, and this is tough for me personally. He says, "Be kind to unkind people." That's a tough one.
That's a toughie.
I like that though. Like I am somebody who like kill with kindness.
Do you really?
I do. Like, for example, if you go to a restaurant
Yeah.
and sometimes, like your waiter or your waitress is just like in a piss ass mood, like just not happy at all. You know what I mean? And they're just being mean and kind of like frustrated. And they're just like, I will be
I don't
like,
think I
so
would
mad-
order food if I noticed that. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I just remembered I'm a vegetarian. No, thank you.
Well, I never get like sometimes they're just like rude. You know what I mean? Even whether they're just rude sometimes. And I will literally go out of my way to make sure that this is like the best table they've had. I'm like, oh my God, you look so pretty.
And
Or,
why do
"Oh,
you do
I-"
that?
Because I just feel like, first of all, I don't like to throw poop back into somebody else's face, no matter how much poop they're throwing in mine.
Got it.
It makes me feel better to have a smile on my face than a frown. I try not to ever have beef with anyone. I try not to fight. I try not to, even if I break up with somebody, I try to leave it on good terms. I don't
I
like
feel the
having,
same way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like having badness. Is
You-
that a
you-
word?
Well, you know what it is? It's that adage, don't let someone else steal your joy.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
it's,
rain on my
it's
parade.
tough.
Oh my God, I'm
It's-
going to break out into song and dance.
It's
Don't
a
rain on my
lot. It's a
parade.
lot easy when I'm drinking water instead of bourbon. I'll tell you that much. So that's just how it is. So this one, I have no choice. I let him do it. He says, "Let someone cut ahead of you in line or in traffic."
I agree with the in traffic thing because
Yes,
I
because
do
they're
not like
nuts
road rage.
anyway.
They're so-
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Let
Go
them
in
go.
front of me.
See you.
It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In line.
One
I get on the
time
wrong
there was a
line.
guy who got crazy on me, and he pulls over and follows. And I get out of the car, and I said, "Dude, what's with the finger? I'm not having a good day." And I looked at him. He went, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, that you're not having a good day." I said, "Great. Have a nice one yourself." And I left. And I think, he saw me. He didn't have any idea who I was, and he just had that rage. But
Yeah.
being angry and fighting, forget it. Unless I'm getting paid, I'm not interested. I'm sorry.
Right. And you don't know nowadays. It's so
They
scary.
just shoot you. They don't fight.
Right. It's like it's too scary. You don't know how somebody's gonna like.
So here's
blow
one
up
that's
on you.
interesting that I believe and I talk about in my book. Take time to be alone.
Mm.
Man, that's the best. When I have nothing to do and I can just clean out my jets and just be like, "Oh, wait, let me relax for 15 minutes."
Yeah.
That just recharges me. So
Absolutely.
that's he wasn't just a tequila drinking guitar player. This dude
Drinking
knew-
margaritas.
He says, cultivate good manners. Amen, brother. Be civil too while you're at it. Here's the next one. Be humble. Well, that's a tough one, but it is a good one.
It's a good one, and also a good song. Sit down, be humble. That's good. Yeah.
All right, now here's one that I definitely know, and we all know. Realize and accept that life isn't fair. I'm still flabbergasted how people don't understand this basic principle. It's not fair. In fact, you know what it is? A lot of people don't like change instead of embracing it. Because what the
Right.
hell stays the same in life?
Yeah.
I can't think of one thing.
Listen, I complain to John all the time. Everywhere we go, I'm like, the price went up here, or this person doesn't do this anymore. I'm constantly complaining about everything's changing. Like, it's not what it was. Da 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 da. He's like, oh my God.
I love this list. We have a few more to go. There, 23. Number 18. Listen to this. Know when to keep your mouth shut.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at that one.
That is absolutely the biggest power you could have in life. When someone could just get into you red face and you just don't say anything. You don't even participate.
Yeah.
I think they call them Buddhists.
It's very hard to do that.
But sometimes also we don't keep our mouth shut because of our ego. We want to prove a point. There is no point. Move on. Be peaceful. So I like that. Wow. Listen to this. Go an entire day without criticizing anyone.
Oh, God.
And I know when you're watching those fashion people walking on the red carpet, there's no way you're not criticizing them, right? She did not wear that dress, right?
I even like, we'll watch TV.
You'll watch TV,
No, I
right?
watch TV. And I will just be like, God, can that person just shut up? Or like, God, can they just she's so pretty. Stop talking. Like, I will literally like be screaming at the television, like, these poor people. I'm like criticizing. I feel horrible as I'm like a horrible being.
But you're not doing it in their face. You're doing it in your living room.
In my living room.
All right.
So I'm like,
so it's one thing that you're fine. You're fine.
No, I would
if
never.
You were attacking people,
I would never do that.
John
No.
would never let you attack them in the red
Oh my
carpet.
God. I would never. First of all, even I believe in going back to a few of the steps you said before, having manners.
Yes.
I don't believe in criticizing anybody of what they're wearing, of what their hair looks like, of what I don't. That is like they left thinking they looked great. I agree with you. You feel good about yourself, then you look good, and I approve.
Sometimes it's hard to say that when you shop at Walmart. That's all I'm going to say. No, you did not step out of the house wearing that. You did not. Don't let your mama come out looking like that. All right. Number 20, learn from the past, plan for the future. That's a good one. I mean, if you keep repeating the same stuff, that makes you what, Ray Thomas?
Well, it's insanity. It's a definition of insanity.
Only if you're expecting a different outcome.
Yeah.
It's that Forrest Gump. Are you stupid or something?
Mm.
You know, when they said that to him. So that's kind of, here's one. Live in the present. Right now, this is a great moment for everyone in the room. Nobody's dying of cancer. We have our health, our sanity, right? What do we have to complain about compared to so many out there? Don't sweat the small stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
And last but not least, Mr. Tequila Man says, know that it's all small stuff in the grand scheme of things.
That's good. My English teacher, Mr. Richardson, I think he's still alive. I don't even know. Eighth grade or seventh grade English teacher. He used to always say, "Don't sweat the small stuff," and it really
it's a great book, Richard Carlson. I recommend. One of my favorite books. It really is.
Yeah.
And what it is, it's a Zen philosophy, but it's a Stoic philosophy. Like John said before, what we can't control. Why should we let it eat us up?
Right.
That's great.
What you can't control, why should it control you?
Right.
Yes.
It'd be like arguing with this cup right here. You know who I am? Huh? You know who I am? Huh? That's kind of like how it is.
Oh, I think it actually moved a little.
I know. He's sticking his straw up at him. Look at that.
So, Ray, how much time do we have before the next, curtain call?
Yeah, you got about 12 minutes.
All right. I think it's ready for a song.
What was the last number? What number was it?
Number 23.
Well, 24. Wouldn't that be one that Dennis would throw in? Don't send the food back.
Yes, it would be. Dennis, this guy is so hilarious because I thought he collected for the mob before I knew, because he has that. He's a funny guy, but he has that serious demeanor about him, right?
I agree.
Dennis, how you doing? I'm okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't lie.
You see, there he goes. All right, so we're gonna play this. Why don't we do a Jimmy Buffett song? We're talking about Jimmy Buffett and his great perils of wisdom here.
This is so exciting.
All
oh my
right,
gosh.
so,
a live in studio
all right, so
performance.
You got to stay. All right.
These arms
So,
really...
Dennis, I bought a little amp for him. Bob's going to thump that. And I have this beautiful 50-year-old Martin guitar, ladies and gentlemen.
That's incredible.
This is the most recorded. This and the D18 is arguably the most recorded acoustic guitar in rock history. Now,
wow, this is for sure like the best front row seat I've ever had at a concert. Like, this is as front as it gets.
well, don't forget to take care of your bartenders and your waitresses because they're working hard for you. What's that? No, sir, I don't know any Taylor Swift songs. I'm so sorry. But we're going to play some Motorhead and some Slipknot. All right, so we're getting this up. Ray, the last time you played me, you had your fro, dude. You heard me play music.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah? Okay. Are you there? Can you hear most everything?
Oh, yeah.
How about the drums? All right, he's got the brush and the sticks. All right, let's do some tequila music. Little Margaritaville in D. You ready?
Yep.
Just like we rehearsed it, guys. We haven't played together in 2 years.
2 days.
1, 2, 3, 4. Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bathe. All those tourists covered with oil, strumming my 6-string on my front porch swing. I can smell them shrimp, never getting a boil. Wasted away again in Margarita, searching for my lost cigarette soul. Some people claim there's a Marla to blame, but I know what's my damn fault. Don't know the reason I stay there all season. Nothing to show but the brand new tattoo. I ain't ever getting no tattoo, but she's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. I was drunk. How I got here, I haven't a clue. Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost cigarette salt.
Of salt.
That's
of
right.
Salt. Of salt.
Some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. I blew up my flip-flops, I stepped on a Pop-Tart, cut my heel, had to head on back home. But this booze and slander, well, and soon it will render this frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost cigarette salt. Salt,
Salt. Salt. Salt.
Some people claim there's a woman to blame, but I don't. It's nobody's fault. Some people claim there's a woman to blame. There always is. Oh, no.
That was awesome, you guys.
Close to perfection.
That was so good. It was so much fun. I danced literally the whole time.
Oh, man.
I didn't
Jeez.
stop wiggling.
Oh, we got 5 before the other one. Let's do one other quick one. Back in the day, when I was young, good looking, and ambitious, my best friends were Three Dog Night, and we would go to the Rainbow Room. Mario would give us VIP. I would record in the American studios. I still don't know how they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. These guys had, I would say, from like late 60s to about 75, they were it.
Yeah.
I mean, the shows they did. But anyway, this is one of my favorite songs. There's Never Been to Spain. Well, I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Say the ladies are insane there, and they sure know how to use it. They don't refuse it, and refuse. Well, I've never been to England, but I kinda like the Beatles. But I'm headed for Las Vegas. Never made it out in Needle. And you feel it? I must be real. I feel so good. Well, I've never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma. Well, they tell me I was born there, but I really don't remember. In Oklahoma, not Arizona, what does it matter? That's the 2-minute version because we're coming
That
up
was
to
so
the
good.
commercial.
Oh my God, that was so good. I love when you like just opened up. Oh, that's so good.
They were the stories. I can't share all of them on the air, but there were some amazing stories. One of them that was sad is back then we would jam along the Strip, and we played at that club where River Phoenix.
Oh yeah, the Viper Room.
The Viper
Yeah.
Room. We used to jam there, and Tracy Guns used to play there, and we would go into the Rainbow Room, and of course Mario, the owner, knew Joe. I was just a young punk kid hanging out with royalty. I didn't realize how lucky I was. And then, of course, being an Iron Butterfly, we traveled and did some amazing shows. One of my favorite shows was the one in Hawaii, and that was just a bunch of bikers were sponsoring it and did a Toys for Tots.
Wow.
So they were like, "Hey, you want to ride a Harley?" I go, "Is this a trick question?" So, I mean, I didn't drive fast, but they raced a lot of stuff. That was a good show. But my favorite show all time, we were playing one time at this aquarium outdoors, and the Philly skyline was in the back. So we did that show was we headlined. We were last, but we had John K. Steppenwolf, Badfinger, Rare Earth, and Mitch Ryder. And the best part of that, I'm playing it. We're the last band, and I was still new in the band, and they were all listening while we were playing. We had this one song called Butterfly Blue where the band kind of stopped, and I did a solo. And we talked about it, and I said, "Well, what do you want me to do in the solo?" And he goes, "Well, we're in the aquarium. What do you think?" I said, "How about I make some whale sounds with the guitar?" And they went, "Can you do that?" I go, "Yeah, let me do that." So I did that, and you know how Andy Warhol says everyone has their 15 minutes of fame?
Yeah.
That was mine. There was probably about 15,000 people. They turned the lights on. They all had the cigarette lighters on there, and I'm on stage, the loudest, and just got to record. Anyway, and that and $5 will get me a cup of coffee at Starbucks, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take another break and come back with some more insanity on Friday at 5. Thanks.
He rocked the stage. Now he's rocking your weekend. It's Denny Artache. Fridays at 5. Your weekend starts now. And we'll be right back.
At Artachi Financial Group, we really go out of our way to make our clients feel different. Different because we're fiduciaries that work for you, not any insurance company or fee-based company that's out there. So if it's investing basics, income planning, long-term care, disability, Medicare, Social Security, how to take care of your family, succession planning for businesses, insurance products, we have it all, and we explain it to you simply. And we are fiduciaries. We do work for you, not any other company. So give us a call at the office at 561-537-5897. That's 561-537-5897. 5897. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA SIPC. Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, and Artachi Financial Group are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Easy on
Get
yourself,
your
Ray.
weekend started right. It's Fridays at 5. Local fun, fresh laughs, and feel-good vibes right here on 1450 WSTU. Here's your host, Denny Artache.
Ray Thomas, you're doing really good for 15 hours, being in a vertical position, brother.
It's a talent, man. It takes practice.
Just don't sleep, man. That's all.
Yeah, what's sleep? It's a hobby.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, I want to the listeners out there, if you do care and you don't have $5 for Starbucks, let me finish the story I told my friends on how I was with Iron Butterfly, because Mike Panera had heard me, Marla, at that place I was telling you that I was playing 4 nights a week. He says, hey, come to L.A. I said, well, I don't know anybody. I'll help you out, man. You got to go out there. So I go out there, and he takes me to a rehearsal with Iron Butterfly. This is how Mike was. He was in a band that he formed with Peter Rivera from Rare Earth, Jerry Corbetta from Sugarloaf. They called themselves Classic Rock All-Stars. So Mike was like, I'm not going to keep playing with Iron Butterfly. I'm going to make more money in this band. So he takes me and he introduced me to Ron Bushy and Lee Dorman and says, hey, guys, I can't go on a road with you. And they're like, Mike, are you kidding? He said, no, wait. I got my replacement. You got to hear this guy. You're going to love him. Just give him a chance. So unbeknownst to me, I go there and audition for Iron Butterfly on the spot, and I got the gig. And
Unbelievable.
And the sad part about it, the only reason I got out of the band is where I was working. I don't want to say who it was. They wanted to go out for 3 days, and they threatened to fire me. And I was so broke back then. I literally sold the guitar when I was hanging out with Jimmy Page from Zeppelin, the guy that I started playing guitar because I saw him, because I couldn't pay my rent.
That's crazy.
I told him, I said, hey guys, do we have any other dates? Well, not now, in the future. You're an Iron Butterfly. Don't worry about it. Well, I can't go. They're going to fire me. And that was it. They got upset with me. We made up afterwards. Ron Bushy, before he passed away, we stayed. That's the guy, the original drummer. We stayed in touch a lot on the phone and Facebook. And he did say, hey, man, you were the best guitar player and singer that we had. And I said, Ron, you don't know how much, whether you mean it or not.
Yeah.
I love hearing that from you, man.
Yeah.
He really, let me tell you, that was a guy who really took drumming seriously. I'll never forget, we were traveling, I think it was in Oklahoma, and they were so excited Iron Butterfly was coming that they decided to have a drum contest, right? Now, we're tired already. And they say, hey, Ron, would you mind judging the contest? Most people would have been like, screw you. You know who I am? Ron was like, oh, yes, of course. I'd be honored to. And he sat there, and some of the guys were okay. But he listened to this drum off.
You got my keys, right?
Are you guys having pillow talk over here? What's going on here?
I
told you.
You don't need to know about these things.
I'm telling you, don't believe that chef store. He worked for the mob. You know those movies where you don't know that the guy who that's Dennis.
And
here.
it is always in a restaurant.
It's always in
right?
a restaurant.
It's always in a restaurant.
It was an Italian
Yes,
restaurant.
always an Italian restaurant.
No,
Nailed it.
I want to go back to his other secret. Forget Iron Butterfly. Come on, come clean.
Actually, when I was working in
Cooking a mic. You're not in.
when I was in San Francisco back in hippie days in the early 70s.
And you never smoked
I
dope
needed
when
a
you
job,
were there, right?
and I got a job delivering pizza in an Italian pizza place.
Okay.
But I'm sure it was connected, because there was
You see how it's coming
a
out now,
man-
Marla?
Now
You
we're
see?
getting to it.
And, there was some guy that would come in.
Bob,
and
are
he
you
would, like,
are you listening to this? You've
give
been
him-
playing with a guy in the witness protection program.
I'm with you. I've always felt Dennis was maybe,
What do you prefer, a Glock or a 38?
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, shotgun. That's old school. Wow. Oof.
Oh, you know what? He could be like that guy. What was that for Old Country? Bard, the guy who won the Oscar. He was so nuts.
Yeah.
He'd walk up and go, flip the coin. For
Right.
what? What's at stake? Everything.
Yeah,
Just
that
flip
was
it.
great.
Yeah, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what Dennis comes across as that. There's just some people listening going, what the hell is he talking about? No Country for Old Men. I've never heard of such a movie in my life. And so, hey, we got the 5 Fs out of the way. We know that's happening. And listen, don't forget, we got to hook up Ray Thomas. He's ready to,
Oh, Ray, are we ready to find
I think
some
he's
love?
ready to date again.
Love is in the air. Is that what we're doing? Is that the next thing we're talking about?
Well, we'll see.
Oh my goodness.
So, Marla, can you hook a brother up or what?
I think we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to figure it out.
Should we do it on the air or privately?
Well, 40
we could do
pounds
it on
from
the
now,
air.
you know.
We could do it on the air. We could try. We should bring some potential. We could play like a little dating game. We could bring like some bachelorettes, right? Do you remember the dating game?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Bring them
We
in the
We
studio.
could bring some
Gotta have-
bachelorettes in the studios. We'll ask some questions.
Put a
Well,
petition.
yeah,
over
but
here,
what-
you
Right,
know.
listen,
and we can
what-
see what who
But
does
we-
Ray want
We
to?
would have to pimp him out and show him a picture. They're not just going to show up without.
I know.
Listen,
You know how it is.
we're not throwing in anyone who would not be good. You know, it's like
I'm not saying about them. I want him to see Ray Thomas here.
Well,
Ray's
you know,
adorable. What do you mean? He's
look
great.
I know that. You
Yeah.
know that, but you know
Yeah.
how the superficials are out there.
well, show them the picture on the Facebook. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the graduation.
the lovely hair blowing in the.
You
in
know,
the wind.
I almost forgot. I think Mom's listening, and I forgot. Mom, if you're listening, I love you once again. Thank you so much for getting together with Pop so many years ago, because I wouldn't be here if you didn't. So
Aw.
thank you so much.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Denny's mom.
Always appreciate that.
And hi, Marla's mom too. She's listening.
Marla's mo-
Yeah, Roberta.
The
What-
engineer just texts me, says, "Oh my God."
Well,
Does he
Tom,
want in too? Is he single? Are we doing that? We're gonna
No,
hook up
don't-
everybody at the radio station.
don't
Get-
get Marla started. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
don't get
I
Greg
she
love-
in
has a
trouble.
passion
I
for it.
love doing this stuff.
I know
Yeah,
you
but
do.
don't get him in trouble. He's good.
Hey, maybe
Oh,
that's
okay.
the theme
Okay.
that we're pitching the show, the new dating game.
Right.
But you and I are the hosts, right?
That's it. More fun.
The new dating game on air.
No, but
Right.
you said that's been done, right? They're looking for something different.
You know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I get it. Let's talk politics and religion. Not.
No.
I mean, I gotta watch the news because it affects markets, and
Yeah.
that's why I watch it.
Of course.
But all that negativity and stuff,
Mm.
yeah, I'm not participating in that.
I agree.
And I feel so bad because it seems like the world is really like nuts right now. Like people should have that new invention called decaf. You know what I mean? Relax.
I
it is
know.
really crazy. It is.
And people are so easily offended, right? Instead of
Yeah.
finding humor in more things, because the more you laugh, the longer you live.
I will say I miss that the most. I think that listen, the world's always going to be crazy in
Yes.
politics and that, but I really miss that. You can't joke about things
You
anymore.
can't-
Like the things
exactly.
that used to be so off the cuff, like this and that,
Right.
making accents and doing that. You can't
You
do anything
cannot
anymore.
do that.
Nothing.
They get really offended,
Nothing.
and that's just taking yourself too seriously, folks.
Yeah.
I look at myself in the mirror and crack up every day. Oh, you did not. No. Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm just working on it. You gotta laugh, folks. Laughter is the key to you can live and not be arrested on assault charges,
Absolutely. And smiling.
It's
You feel better, actually, literally. You feel so much better when you're smiling and laughing than when you're crying or frowning. You just if you could force yourself to smile when you are feeling bad,
absolutely.
you'll feel better.
So listen, everyone in this room and most of you out there really don't have much to complain about when we compare ourselves to so many that would love to trade places. So on that thought, make it a great weekend. Go support local music and tune in next week where we're working on a special guest that might be, dare I say, stimulating. Guys, thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to the music.
That's a wrap on another ride through the heart of the Treasure Coast. You've been tuned into Fridays at 5, from finance to local talk and everything in between. We hope you're heading into the weekend just a little bit wiser and a whole lot more entertained. Big thanks to you for making this the best hour of the week. We'll see you next Friday, right here on Martin County's Heritage Station, 1450 WSTU. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay tuned. WSTU, Stewart.